Welcome everybody to this fine afternoon here. Central Penn College men's baseball takes on Penn State Schuylkill here in the final two home games of the season. Paul Miller with Tyler Coleman here. Tyler, it's such a pleasure to have you back in the booth here, and we're actually in a booth today.
Oh yeah, it's great to be here. First time experience actually working in a booth here, so we're looking forward to it.
Well, I will say on the bright side, at least we don't have to worry about our papers blowing all over the place on the one day that there's really no wind. How about that?
Yeah, about the first time this season we won't have to worry about that.
Well, Penn State Schuylkill comes in. This is their final regular season contest. They're going to be moving on to the PSU AC tournament tomorrow at Pine Grove High School. For Central Penn, we still have a great deal of games left. And in fact, the gentlemen tomorrow morning are leaving for Stratford University for a three contest tilt with Stratford. So we talked to Coach Stern before the game, and I asked him, and very bluntly and honestly, what was he going to do about the starting rotation? Quentin Heckard on Tuesday put up one of the most remarkable starts in Central Penn College baseball history with 13 strikeouts across a complete game shutout. Tyler, it was absolutely dominant from Heckard.
Dude, his pitching performance was amazing the other day. Able to go the complete game shutout, striking out 13 guys. I think the Knights would be looking for another performance like that today to get another win, and if not be able to pick up both of the games here today.
Well, today's starting pitcher is going to be Christian Fulp. Those of you from last year might remember Christian's incredible pitching. Talked to Christian before the game. He's a little beat up on the season, but he says he's ready to go out there. So Central Penn's got a big 3-game set this weekend at Stratford. They're going to come back around Wednesday, the 1st of May at Bucks County, Sunday, the 5th of May at Wilson College, and closing up with Clark Summit, who we just split with. Unfortunately, Central Penn Knights men's baseball fan, this will be our final 2 broadcasts on the season for men's baseball. We've really enjoyed bringing you the contest. This is actually going to be number 6 and number 7 on the season. So, Tyler, we accomplished our goal of calling all the home games this year. Well, explain a little bit more about how your experience has been.
I really enjoyed this experience with it being the first time getting to do this. You know, just getting some experience and calling the games and getting to be around the team and getting to meet some of the guys. It's really been a blast, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next season.
Well, and what one of the things that you are doing on the season is you have been instrumental in behind the scenes. A lot goes into these broadcasts, and we try very hard to make sure we're giving you accurate and quality information. You're the one that's out there making sure that things are coming in and looking good for us. So I really appreciate everything. You and Dylan Kleintop, you've been covering it for the team. You've been covering the team for the Nightly News and have just been wonderful this season, so we really appreciate your efforts thus far. And you got a couple more things coming up. You're going to write an end of the season wrap. You're going to do a podcast with several of the players. So, and really, you're going to put together this packet for future nights who are going to help us with these broadcasts. So I want to thank you from the Nightly News, Tyler.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, as I mentioned, 4-9 on the season for Central Penn Knights. Had a lot of issues getting games in, several games canceled, postponed due to poor weather, poor field conditions, but things have gone a lot better lately. Since our opener against Penn State Montalto, we have also done the College of St. Joseph. We did not get to that one, but we did get to play Scotland Prep. And we also, of course, Tuesday's matchup against Clark Summit, today against Penn State Schuylkill. Certainly hope next year we have a more lengthy schedule, but like I said, we did have some issues with field conditions. Hopefully we're going to have many more games for you here in the future. So, nice moment on Tuesday, going back to Senior Recognition Day, where Cam Woodward and Marquise Broxton were honored. And who am I forgetting? Oh, how can I forget Gabe Arellano? 3 of the gentlemen from the team that have played for quite some time, and we were happy to honor them. So we're looking forward to another good contest today for Penn State Schuylkill. For Penn State Schuylkill, Michael Jensen will be taking the mound. Jensen's got... he's pitched in 4 games this season, started 3, and has made 9 innings, but does have an 11 ERA on the season. So I wonder if they're holding their big guns for the PSU AC tournament that's coming up here this weekend. So we should be getting started here underway in just a few minutes. So from in the net, we're at Field 1 today with the Green Monster, if you will, out in left field. It's going to be Penn State Schuylkill against the Central Penn Knights. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes when the game gets started.
Christian said the other day his shoulder was still bothering him.
All right, we are back here at In the Net. We're at Field 1 today on the artificial turf infield, which is sometimes the players enjoy, but it's going to probably take some odd bounces. On the mound today is Christian Fulp. Christian has had 3 appearances on the season. He's 1-2, did complete a game, but has an ERA north of 14. Had a few tough outings earlier in the season that really kind of inflated that ERA somewhat. So we're looking to see what Christian's got in the tank today, and let's hope he can bring the Knights a victory. Leading off here for Penn State Schuylkill, Dezane Amy. He has played in 21 ball games. He's got no home runs and 12 RBIs and leads the team with a 397 average. I couldn't even imagine hitting 397, Tyler.
That's a good number, especially from your leadoff guy.
So refresh the memory of the viewers. How much baseball have you played in your time?
I started playing baseball when I was about 6 years old. I played through middle school and then up all the way through high school. And once I started attending Central Penn College, I decided to kind of get into more of the broadcasting, the games, writing the stories. And like I said, I've really enjoyed my time and looking forward to doing it again.
All right. Amy steps in. 397 on the year. 24 steals, Tyler. Keep an eye on this guy.
Got some speed.
24 steals in 21 games. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, you're looking at like a 200 steal pace in the MLB. I mean, that's just nuts. I'm sure Central Penn knows that, though. Just outside for the first pitch of the game. That's some nice velocity to it, though. Christian seems like he's all right. Was getting some treatment in the pregame, but seems fine now. Nice pitch. That's going to be a fly to right. Pico back and pulls it in. Nice to keep Amy off the base paths.
Good first out.
Next steps up Blaine Moyer. Moyer has 295 on the season, no home runs and 3 RBIs. He's second on the team with 5 steals. So the lefty coming in here.
Pretty significant drop off,
I would say. Pitch from Fulp, just high. Peyton Paletti behind the plate today. He, according to Robert Stern, saved them a couple of arms in the game last week. It was pretty cool to see Peyton really gut it out. Wow, there's ball 2. Really got it out. First appearance of the season, logged 5 innings, and was the Nightly News Player of the Game for his efforts. His line might not have looked great, but he was really he really kept Central Penn in that ball game, and that's really all they were asking him to do.
Well, sometimes when you're out there pitching, you got to take one for the team, and in the long haul, it'll help out the other pitching.
Behind him there, runs the count to 3-0 for Fulp. It's got to be tough. You know, Central Penn and Coach Stern even acknowledged their pitching has struggled this season, lost a couple people last season, some injuries here. And I did want to send out a kind regard to Freddie Barr, who suffered a pretty gruesome wrist injury in Tuesday's contest against Clark Summit. He will be out for the season. So we hope Freddie has a speedy recovery.
Yes.
And he walks him. Again, keep an eye on Moyer on the base paths. All right, next will be Jacob Leininger. In 74 at-bats this season, he's got 31 RBIs and 10 doubles, along with a 265 average. So this Jacob Leininger is probably one of the better hitters here for Penn State Schuylkill. Certainly it leads the team in slugging percentage as well. And for those of you who are maybe unclear about slugging percentage, it really has to do with your total bases. So if you're hitting a lot of doubles, you're going to have a high slugging percentage. Of course, home run hitters have a very high slugging percentage as well, because 4 total bases, that'll jump you up pretty quick. Just inside there for Christian Fault. So 1 down here in the top of the first. Ended up being a nice day. I was concerned about that. That's going to be a hard run to short. Heckard for 1, and just off the bag there, Rosario almost turned double play.
Tough play to make, but good job getting the lead runner.
So Leininger reaches on a fielder's choice, but now 2 down. Nice play in the field by Heckard. That double play was nice. Rosario, it's a second baseman by trade, typically plays first and third. Beautiful pitch there. I was interested to see Rosario pitch. That's the first time I'd seen him pitch this season. So really, all hands on deck here for pitching for the Knights. And there he goes. Swinging strike. Paletti just behind the runner. Very close there. But Leininger in there with a steal. So now he's in scoring position. Dalton Hughes, a senior. 3 home runs and 22 RBI. He missed it, and Christian strikes him out. One hit on the inning for Christian, the strikeout to end it there. We are going to go to the bottom of the first. After the top of the first, it is 0-0.
All right. So the Nightly News Media Club here at Central Penn College is doing a fundraiser with Mariana's Hoagies. The hoagies are $7 and their pizzas are $8. All proceeds will support the Nightly News Media Club. If you are interested, please contact Paul Miller at paulmiller@centralpenn.edu. For the 5th straight year, Central Penn College has earned a military-friendly school designation. Currently, Central Penn has 69 students who are either veterans or who are active in the military or National Guard. The Student Veterans of America Club is accepting new members. Students must be veterans or active military to join. For more information about the club, contact Student Success Coach and Club Advisor Dan Garisi at 717-728-2367.
All right, we are back here for the bottom of the first inning. On the mound today for Penn State Schuylkill is Michael Jensen. Jensen on the season's appeared in 4 games. He started 3, only logged 9 innings with an 11 ERA, but at 10 K per 9. So he's striking out more than a batter per inning. Seems to be of the starters here. Definitely one who's struggled thus far. So we may have an opportunity here.
Yeah, hopefully the Knights can jump on them early and push across some early runs here.
Well, the 3, 4, 5 hitters, I'll tell you, I was talking to Coach Stern before the game, and he explained that the 3, 4, 5 hitters of Graham, Rosario, and Rivera can stack up with almost any college team, certainly that we would play. He said we played some Division II teams who commented about the middle of our lineup here, so we're really looking forward to that. The guy at the top of the order, though, who sets the table here, Quentin Heckard, again, can't get over his 13 strikeout complete game shutout. And what's interesting, guys, about that, this wasn't a 7-inning contest. So 13K in 7 innings. Pretty incredible. But not to live in the past, we are here for today's game. Heckard on the season, 278, no home runs and 6 RBIs. Does have 4 steals as well. Another ball there. Heckard steps in, and Jensen pitches. That one will get the inside corner there for a strike. Heckard in line to pitch the first game on Saturday for the Knights against Stratford University.
There we go.
Another one that gets the inside corner there.
Be interesting to see if Quentin would be taken off here if he could get on base.
And a shot to center field. Ranging back. Can't come up with it. And Quentin's in with a stand-up double there to lead off. It's going to bring up the senior, Gabe Arellano. Gabe on the season, .333 average, no home runs and 6 RBIs. Does lead the team in steals with 9. 14 hits on 42 at-bats. Gabe is a really key part of this offense. I'll tell you, I love Central Penn's lineup at the top of the order. They're constructed like a major league lineup. You know, you got your speedster contact guy at the top. Your 2-hole hitters got a little power and some speed, and then you get into your 3, 4, 5 hitters that, you know, are your boppers there. And that one gets away, and Heckard's going to head to third with no throw. And he's in there standing up as well.
So now we got a runner at third base with no outs. Pretty good chance of getting the first run.
Passed ball there. Umpires communicating there. And right back up the box, and that hits off Jensen. And Heckard's coming home, and he's in there. I mean, I think that's a hit regardless, but incredible play. And Jensen got hit right back up the box there.
A little surprised to see him come home with that throw. I thought Heckard was going to be safe either way.
I think that was, when you just get hit with a ball like that, it's kind of tough to determine where you're at.
Going to give him some practice throws here.
He sounds okay. I didn't really see where it hit him. All right, well, up steps Connor Graham. Connor, .479 average on the season, 3 home runs, leads the team, tied team lead in triples, tied for the team lead in home runs, 19 RBI, and second in steals. First in average, first in on base with a .519. There's a hot shot to third. And Graham, they call him out there, but does move the runner.
Close play, but very productive out, getting the runner into scoring position there at second base.
And in steps Chris Rosario. Rosario hitting .422 on the season with 6 doubles, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs. And Chris has hit one out of here. Last year he hit one. And there goes one deep, but right at the left fielder. Arellano just back in. First pitch swinging there for Rosario. Brings up Jared Rivera. Rivera is hitting .237, 3 home runs and 10 RBIs on the season. So he's third in the team in RBI, tied for the team lead in home runs. Outside there, Arellano keeping an eye out on what's going on. Wants to advance if he can.
Base hit here could add to his RBI total.
Well, early on here, the Knights are looking good. Fulp looked good in the first. Push the run across. There's a strike there to Rivera. Arellano dances off second. Pitch comes home, and that's inside. Benson a little frustrated with himself. So Penn State Schuylkill 12-9 on the season. They are headed to the PSUAC tournament, which is sort of a tournament for all the different sort of satellite campuses of Penn State. So they're looking forward to that end of the season tournament there and see if they can make some moves there. Central Penn, you know, if they got on a hot streak here, they have an outside shot to make the Small College World Series here still. And the curveball just fouled off by Rivera.
Well, we'd like to see that happen, see them make a trip to the Small College World Series.
Two down here, bottom one. That one's outside. And it's full. Let's see what Rivera can do with a man on second and a full count here with two down, bottom of the first. And hot shot to third. And Rivera can't beat it out, and that will retire the side. But Central Penn adds a run with one run on two hits, one left. We'll go to the top of the second. Central Penn 1, Penn State Schuylkill 0.
So the Career Services Annual Business Partner of the Year Breakfast will be held from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday, June 4th in the Central Penn College Conference Center. This is a great way to network with students, alumni, faculty, staff, and representatives from a wide array of businesses. This year's event features a bit of a twist, as we will also be honoring 2 students as Interns of the Year. The 2-hour event features a buffet breakfast followed by a full agenda, which includes a town hall meeting where the attendees get to learn from one another. You will have an opportunity to express your opinion on a wide variety of topics or to simply sit back and listen to what others have to say. At past events, some employer representatives have been so impressed with the way our students have presented themselves during the town hall meeting that they are approached the students afterwards and indicated that they wanted to speak with them about joining the company. Look for further announcements and registration information as the date approaches. In the meantime, contact Career Services at centralpenn.edu or call us at 717-728-2467 if you have any questions.
Oh, big guy.
Okay, we are here at the top of the second. Lehman up to bat. Garrett Lehman, 268 on the season. Inside there from Fulp. 1 home run, 11 RBI. Has struck out 14 times. Fulp with a strikeout. Hasn't allowed a hit yet. Strike there from Fulp as a little breeze comes down. It's about 60 degrees today. Nice day out, temperature-wise.
Sounds like a little bit of rain coming down.
A little
now.
rain. Fulp pitches. And that's a shot to Heckard. He waits on it. Goes to first for the out. I'm not sure if he waited back on that because of the turf. He was unsure about how that would go, but he made the play.
Strong throw there. Just caught the runner at first.
Yeah, fortunately he's got a strong arm.
Come on, Seven. Come on, Seven.
Fulp the pitch. Catches the inside corner. Looks like there's going to be periods of rain for the next 2 hours here, so hopefully we don't get anything too heavy that we have to stop play. Down and in. Ball one. Looks relatively mundane, so hopefully... And we are in the press box today, so we can't complain. Fulp delivers. Oh, man, and that is just high.
Christians looked pretty strong here in the early outing.
Tight strike zone from the umpire today. That one's just outside. Oh, he gives him that one.
In the strike.
So it looks like top to bottom he's squeezing him, but left to right he's giving him a little bit more. See, and that's the thing about baseball to me. The umpires are such an integral part of the game, and I just want them to be consistent. And I think that's their mission, you know. Big strike.
I believe we talked about that the other day. As long as the strike zone's consistent the whole game, not really too much complaining can go on.
Steven down on strikes there, which brings up Fiquette. Steele Fiquette, 281 on the season, no home runs, 10 RBIs. Fulp the pitch, gives him that one on the inside corner for strike one. Bittersweet here. I will not be joining you for the second game here today. It'll be Tyler and Brian. I have to get back for class this evening, so this will be my last game on the season, Tyler.
Well, it's been a great year. Like I said, looking forward to working with you again next season, and I believe Brian will be along with us next season as well.
Let's hope. So we will be looking to do soccer. We will be definitely doing basketball, so maybe you can be involved in those productions as well.
I heard basketball went very well.
We had a great time, and I really have to thank the man on the mound. Christian Fulp was our basketball color analyst, and Dylan Kleintop was the main man behind making sure the game looked good, and we appreciate their efforts on the season. We hope to have them back again next season. Big curve outside. Almost again looked like a slider there. Just love to talk to Christian a little bit more about the different pitches that he uses. Little low.
Last week when we were at the Phillies College World Series game, Christian had the opportunity to ask Phillies pitcher David Robertson about what's good advice to give a young pitcher, and David Robertson said, "Get strike one."
That's some good advice there. Unfortunately, Robertson on the shelf. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he hurt himself in that game? Or was he already kind of hurt?
I believe he went to the injured list the day before or the day of.
I was going to say, I thought it was that day or the next. So he's still on the shelf. Time called there. What a pitch. Nice strikeout pitch there, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Christian. No runs, no hits, none left. We're going to go to the bottom of the second. Central Penn 1, Penn State Schuylkill 0.
So Closer Look Weekend is coming up actually this weekend. Accepted students and their families are invited to attend Closer Look Weekend on Friday, April 26th and April 27th. During Closer Look, students will have the opportunity to take your placement exams, talk to a financial aid counselor, and make lasting new friendships, and even tour our super suites. Registration is required at centralpenn.edu. Register today.
Jensen seems fine after he was hit last inning. He's back out there. Just enough rain there to get the field a little slick, but looks like it's slowing down a little bit.
I think that's always one part of the game that can be pretty scary. If you're a pitcher, you see that ball coming back at you pretty fast.
I got to tell you, Tyler, one of the things, and I've talked about this before, my son, I'm the coach of his Challenger baseball team. My son is on the autism spectrum, and he's been playing in Challenger baseball for 5 years now. And I throw batting practice to him. And he's getting so good now that I've had to get out. There's like a netting that you can throw batting practice so you don't get decapitated from people hitting it right back up the box at you. And I've had to go to that because I've had my life in my hands a few times when he's gotten a hold of a ball. So I totally understand where Jensen's coming from. Although Hunter not as good as these ball players, that's for sure. Up steps Cam Woodward. Cam on the season, hitting .216, no home runs and 6 RBIs. Really their utility man. I think Cam's played almost everywhere on the diamond at some point this season. In fact, just on Tuesday's games, played 4 different positions throughout the game, mainly due to Freddie Barr's injury. There was a lot of rotation, but also pitching matchups as well, needing Rosario to pitch, etc.
Well, it seems like in today's game, almost every team has one of those super utility players that can pretty much play anywhere around the diamond.
I'll tell you, I look at a guy like Jerickson Profar for the Athletics, eligible at in fantasy, that is, eligible at every single position. Other than catcher, which is unbelievably useful. Now he's playing every day too this season, finally getting an opportunity. Never got an opportunity in Texas, which is odd to me. Woodward draws the walk there. So this is 2 consecutive innings that the leadoff batter reached base, Tyler. I think that's a big key to victory here, getting their leadoff batters on base.
It's always a good sign getting early base runners. Now just see if they can bat them around here to score some more runs.
Up next, Peyton Paletti. Paletti hitting .300 on the season with no home runs and 7 RBI. Paletti calls time to have a quick powwow with Coach Stern. Paletti, though, I mean, not enough can be said about his efforts. Again, Nightly News Player of the game coming in relief in Game 2. Unfortunately, the Knights were not victorious 9-6 there, but getting 5 innings, he did allow 4 runs. But just keeping him and battling through a really stacked offensive lineup in Clark Summit. I thought it was really incredible. We saw some excellent pitching displays there against Clark Summit. Fortunately, we did come out of there with 1 victory. Looks like Paletti's squaring to bunt. Ball's low, and he gets the bat back, so that'll be a quick ball. Woodward does have 4 steals on the season and hasn't been caught. You like those numbers.
Trying to lay down the bunt and get some more speed there in scoring position.
Cam didn't even stop, didn't even wait for first move. I think he had that stolen either way, but they call a balk there.
Really seemed to throw off Jensen there. He didn't seem like he knew where to throw the
Well,
ball.
his teammates were called out that Cam had started running because Cam was a dead duck if Jensen would have just turned around and threw the ball to second. But I think Jensen, I heard him just say, was he slipped off the rubber. Slippery conditions here, so I guess that's to be understood. Either way, Cam Woodward on second, runner in scoring position, and now the bunt would get him to third. I'm sort of surprised here, and maybe Paletti just showing bunt here, but I'm actually kind of surprised. I would swing away here with no outs now that you have the man down to second. You've gotten what you wanted, the runner in scoring position. Cam they're not even covering second base. That's why
really
Cam
dancing around out there.
Yeah, and I think part of that is just getting in the pitcher's head a little bit as well. Cam should watch because now the shortstop ranging in behind. He's got 2 guys in the middle of the field there, and Paletti does swing. If he could have just popped, he would have had a huge hole in the left if he could put the ball on the ground. And he waves at a pitch outside for the first out. Next up, Michael Pico. Hasn't registered a base hit this season in 3 at-bats.
Well, now would be a good time for his first.
Surely would. And Pico will be starting Game 2. Only pitched 1 inning. Just never found his control against Clark Summit. He got out of the first inning on it with a double play and then gave up a leadoff home run. I still think, ironically enough, the first home run in for Clark Summit all season, and then hit the next batter, and then that's when Stern moved on to Paletti. And the bunt there, beautiful bunt there by Pico. Beautiful bunt. Barely got him at first, and Cam takes a big lead around third. Good play there. So sacrifice bunt.
Makes you wonder, with the turf being a little slick, if that picking up the baseball there would cause any problems.
It's a very interesting thought there. All right, next is Emmett Enslin. Enslin, 263, has 3 RBIs on the season. He's battled injuries this season. And the thing about college is, you're only really playing your regular season for about 2 months. So if you have an injury, it is so tough to go on the injured list, if you will, because almost anything would take you out for the whole season.
Those 2 months go by pretty fast.
And so it's, in college baseball, you kind of have to gut it out a little bit. Not to say that the MLB, they're not gutting it out either. There's a shot to short, and they're just going to go to first for 1. And that will end the inning. So, after all of that, leadoff runner on, Enslin grounds out to end the inning. After 2 innings, it's Central Penn 1, Penn State Schuylkill 0.
Word Wednesdays. Don't forget that the Office of Student Life and the Office of Equity and Multicultural Affairs offers a weekly opportunity for students who have open dialogue about the hot topics of the day. Word Wednesday is held weekly in the Cultural Diversity Center from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Snacks will be provided for participants. All are welcome. Also, Spring OTA Day is coming up. Spring OTA Day is on May 8th. This event is for prospective students who are interested in becoming occupational therapy assistants. Stay tuned for additional information. Also, no fee applications. Did you know that Central Penn College, unlike some institutions, do not charge any type of fee for applying? It's absolutely free. Go to our website at centralpenn.edu to apply.
All right, Tyler. Christian Fulp back on the mound, 3 strikeouts in 2 innings. Pitching very well thus far, and rain seems to have subsided. Coming up this inning, it'll be Whitmer, Diaz back to the top of the order to Amy. Alex Whitmer will be coming up here. 366 average, no home runs, 9 RBIs. Only 5 home runs from the whole Penn State Schuylkill team. Central Penn 8 on the season.
Pop fly off to the right side, out of play. Looks like some cars can still get hit today.
I hope my car is far out of the way.
I believe we saw 1, if not 2, on Tuesday get hit.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything bad. I mean, they maybe a little dent, but no broken glass. And most of the time, those will pop out. Fulp fires Whitmer back up the box, and that'll be a base hit. Sounds like Penn State Schuylkill's singing happy birthday to him, so we do wish him a happy birthday. Whitmer, no steals, 1 caught stealing. So I don't know that he's a threat to run. Up steps Ricardo Diaz. And Paletti going back to first. Rivera can't field it. Does not advance, though. The ball didn't get far. Pico backed him up there. That's Christian does look like he struggles somewhat throwing to first. Or it could be the ball was wet. I mean, I totally understand. Diaz only 9 at-bats on the season with an RBI, but hasn't gotten a hit. There's a bunt.
That's a good bunt. Down the third base line.
Paletti, good arm there. He was going to go to thinking about second. He probably could have let that one go foul.
How about the slide in the first, though?
That was very interesting.
Oye, papito. Así mismo, papi. Así mismo. Bloquea todo y tira duro al picho.
All right, so Diaz with a sack bunt there. We're going to go back to Amy at the top of the order, and he looked like he was squaring the bunt. 24 steals here for Amy, hitting .397. I mean, this has to be a big part of Penn State Schuylkill's success. When you can get your leadoff batter leading your team in hits, runs, you know, it's really quite incredible. Rosario, good play. He's going to go to first. That's going to retire Amy, but the runner does move over.
Doesn't really surprise me to possibly see him bunting because he could very easily beat one out for a hit with his speed.
Brings up Blaine Moyer, .295 on the season. Walked in the first. And that one just low. Paletti, a heck of a defensive catcher as well. I mean, we talked about his pitching. His defensive catching is really remarkable. He's got an amazing arm that was just on display right there, throwing out the speedy Amy going down to first base. And that fastball has some movement there. If you see, it starts off in the center of the plate, tailed to the outside. Very excited from Fulp. So Fulp now in a little inside. This is actually Fulp's fourth, tied for the team lead in games started. And he would be excited to bring his ERA down somewhat.
Well, he's looked pretty strong here so far through 2 2/3 innings.
And that ball gets away, but here it in the net, not really a far backstop. So it's going to be tough to score on a ball that gets away from the catcher. But we do have first and third here. Top of the third, it's 1-0 Central Penn. Runners at first and third for Leininger. Reached on a fielder's choice and stole second in the first. .365 average, 31 RBI. Really not the guy you want up to bat here for Fulp. And that one's just off the plate. Ball one.
But for Penn State Schuylkill, that's kind of the guy you'd want to hit and clean up for you with 31 RBIs.
Well, he hits 3, but I mean, absolutely.
Oh, 3.
And our RBI leader hits 3 for us, too. Very big strike there for Fulp. Big hitter here. 2 down. And that one goes right to Heckard. What a play! He's going to go to first, and he's out. What a play by Quentin Heckard. That's his second remarkable play in the field, saving a run for Central Penn. Well, 2 runners left, but no runs. It's still 1-0 Central Penn, moving to the bottom of the third.
Career-focused programs. Are you interested in pursuing a career in business, accounting, marketing, or communications? Central Penn College offers more than 30 career-focused programs and flexible class formats, including in-person, online, and hybrid courses. For more information, visit our website at centralpenn.edu. Also, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, the Humanities film series, has a special treat for you this spring, a rare showing of the 1920 silent film, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. The movie is considered one of the earliest and best horror films. But wait, there's more. A jazz trio will also be providing a live soundtrack. This is one-of-a-kind experience, and it's absolutely free. See and hear The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari on Friday, April 26th at 6:30 p.m. in the Capitol Blue Cross Theater.
I'm actually really excited to go to that. I've been at every Humanities Film Series, CPC Film Series, and this is even more than my own. Extremely unique. I'm very much looking forward to going. Are you going to be able to make it, Tyler?
I'm going to try. Certainly looking forward to it.
All right, back to the top of the order here. Quentin Heckard doubled and scored in the first. And again, should Heckard reach, this would be 3 innings in a row that the leadoff batter got on base. Heckard hitting .278 on the year. And a shot down third makes Coach Stern jump out of the way. And that was foul, but that was close. So you might notice down the left field line, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, the 285, so it does seem a little short, but that Green Monster type apparatus has got to be 40 feet tall. I mean, even the Green Monster in Boston is only 300 to left, I think.
Yeah, you usually got to hit a ball pretty high up in the air to get it over that wall.
I know Jerry Biller and Chris Rosario on a broadcast last season did so. And Quentin, selective on his pitches, the way he's taking his pitches. And there's a chopper. This is going to be a really tough play for the third baseman. And he gets him. 5-3, which will bring up Gabe Arellano. Singled an RBI in the first inning. Drove in Heckard. Graham will be on deck, followed by, if we get to him, Rosario. Well, I'd like to say, as this being my last game of the season, I'd really like to thank Gabe. Gabe's been a remarkable Knight. Has been the glue that's held the team together over the last several years, coming back as a baseball team. You know, we've really only been back as a baseball team for the last handful of years, and it was something special. That was a deep fly all the way to the wall and just has enough room there in, excuse me, in right field. Gave that one a ride right when I was saying something nice about him.
Yeah, that was a very hard hit ball. Thought maybe that had a chance of getting out of there.
Connor Graham steps in with 2 down and no one on. 479 on the season. It was on Tuesday he was hitting 525 and had, by his standards, a tough day, even though he still drove in 2 runs. But still hitting 479. A little low.
479, still video game-like numbers, though.
Graham lays off, drives the count to 1-1. 1-2, my bad. And Graham backs out. And that's outside. Drive the count to 2-2. Jensen, the sophomore here, again, this is his 4th game started and his 5th across the season. Big cut for Graham, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. We will go to the top of the 4th. This game moving right along. Central Penn 1, Penn State Schuylkill 0.
Did you know that Central Penn has an esports team? The team competes in the Collegiate Rainbow Six Siege League and plays against other schools such as Dickinson College, Cincinnati University, and the University of Akron. If interested in joining the team, attend the weekly gaming club meeting on Thursdays at 4 p.m. in ATEC 306. Also, Central Penn's commencement is coming up. It will be Central Penn 137th commencement, and it will be held on Friday, May 3rd at 7 p.m. at the Forum in Harrisburg.
You know, Tyler, we have a very special guest joining us here in the booth this inning. Nightly News Vice President Dylan Kleintop on the heels of that discussion about graduation. Dylan, it's such a pleasure to have you here on the show.
Thanks for having me. I like being on the show.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad you sounded so enthusiastic about that. Well, really why I wanted to have you in is I wanted to talk to you about graduation. Has it sunken in yet that you're graduating?
Not yet. It probably won't until after I completely finish all my classes at the end of June. It's such a surreal experience because this past year has gone by so fast. So I'm excited to see what the future holds, that's for sure.
Well, again, one of the reasons that we want to have you here during this top inning here is you've been covering the team, and that one's a little high for Fulp against Hughes. Hughes struck out in the first to end the inning. So you've been working with the team throughout this whole season thus far. What have your impressions been of Central Penn Knights' season so far?
You know, they have their games where their bats are hot, and then they have the games where they can't get anything going. It's definitely an interesting season. I know most of the guys on the team, like Christian and I, are good friends. So just to see how they act outside of when they perform, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat to watch them do what they do.
I love having, and I have the fine opportunity to have, I've had probably half the team in my classes over the years, and it's always interesting to see them sort of outside of the classroom. Christian's doing some amazing things, looks to be stepping up as part of the Nightly News, and again, I talked about the basketball experience. What was as you think back to that, what were your impressions from doing basketball, and maybe a better question is, how's calling a basketball game different than baseball?
Calling a basketball game is a lot different than baseball, in my opinion, because in basketball, action is constant, back and forth, back and forth. They're up and down the court, whereas here, you know, between every pitch, between every inning, you have a little bit of a break and talk about anything that you want to talk about, not just the game. I think covering the basketball games, watching Jaylyn play, she's an outstanding player, and just seeing how the team performs. Before covering the game, I've never actually been to a Central Penn game, so that was an interesting experience for me, especially my last year here. It's nice to get out and see all the sports play before I leave.
Hughes down on strikes there, Fulp cruising right along at this point. I got to tell you, in terms of, for me, basketball and baseball calling the games is two totally different things. I mean, the amount of, and there's a deep shot to left, and that's going to go off the top of the wall. Graham gets the ball back in. He's got a shot. Lehman he tripped around first. Fulp with the heads-up play to relay the ball back to Rosario, but didn't get it there, and Lehman in with a double. To me, it was... I'd never called basketball before. I'm really glad I had Christian out there because, again, I'm a fan of basketball. I watch basketball, but not on an analytical level. Not that I'm able to really analyze what's going on beyond just basic pick and roll stuff. Baseball, I had a pretty lengthy background with, and as a broadcaster, I've always loved listening to the games, so I could, you know, I've had some experience in college, but over the last 20 years, I've had the opportunity to listen to people like Vin Scully and Bob Uecker and Harry Callis, certainly. And so a lot of great commentators out there I've had to listen to. So big difference here. So I hope that you guys all enjoy the opportunity to watch and keep up with Central Penn. Dylan, I got to tell you, it's been such a pleasure to work with you. We still have some time together, fortunately, but you've done just such a wonderful job, and I'm glad that you were able to be a part of the Nightly News, and I look forward to you finishing up this project.
Thank you, and I'm going to get back to my job here, watching the game and covering the game, and you guys will see a story soon after the game, so enjoy the game.
Thanks, Dylan. All right, back here at the game, the double there from Lehman. One down after the Hughes strikeout. Steven up. Struck out in the second. Hit to short. Hecker's going to third. Gets the lead runner there.
Nice play going to third.
It was a nice play, but also risky. but we'll take that any time. So Steven on the fielder's choice reaches first. And Fekete. Steele Fekete. Up to the plate. Struck out to end the second. Fulp pitches. Fekete out of play. Potentially could hit a car. You know what's always funny is if you ever go to the Harrisburg Senators, anytime there's a foul, like a pane of glass breaks like a sound effect. And it's just funny, another windshield breaking foul ball. And it's by like a window company or something, right?
Yep.
Runner goes right back to Fulp. Fulp will gladly take the out there, and that will retire the side. Kind of an odd chance, bunt there, but nonetheless, Christian Fulp cruising right along. No one runs through to really only one base hit, or excuse me, a second base hit, 2 base hits, and it's 1-0. Central Penn going to the bottom of the 4th.
Are you interested in a healthcare career? Central Penn offers 2-year programs in physical therapy assistant, occupational therapy assistant, and medical assisting, as well as a bachelor's program in healthcare management. For more information, visit our website at centralpenn.edu. Are you interested in pursuing a career in criminal justice, legal studies, homeland security, or information technology? Central Penn College offers more than 30 career-focused programs and flexible class formats, including in-person, online, and hybrid courses. For more information on this, visit our website at centralpenn.edu.
Coming up in the bottom of the 4th, Rosario, Rivera, and Woodward. Rosario flew out to left, while Rivera grounded out to short their first time around. Woodward walked and reached third on a balk and a sacrifice bunt. Did not score, though. Still, Quinn Heckard, the only run of the ball game at this point. 1-0. We're going to the bottom of the 4th. Rosario steps in. Jensen the pitch. Outside and low.
See if the Knights can get some more runs here to add on to that 1-0 lead.
These are the guys coming up here that you would think would. That's inside and low.
A few add-on runs could be huge here with the way Christian has pitched so far.
And Christian, unbelievably, 4 strikeouts in the first 4 innings and 2 hits. He's even only walked 2, so he's only even allowed 4 base runners. Another gem for the Knights starting pitching, which honestly at this point's been their weakness. Outside of Heckard, the crew has struggled. So Heckard's ERA is around 3. And Arellano has around 3 in 2 innings pitched, but the remainder of their starters are a little north of 7. So that's definitely been a shot. Dead center. And that is going to be a home run for Chris Rosario to right center field. Leading off the 4th. Beautiful shot by Rosario. Makes it 2-0 Knights. And that one, and those are high fences out there too. So we're looking at in the 245, 250 range out there in right center field. And that just propelled Rosario to the team lead in home runs with 4. Rivera takes the plate.
That was a long hit shot. You can hear the Central Penn dugout over there pretty excited.
Tough to see in the sky out there. Ball blended in from here in the press box. But Rosario homers nonetheless, and there goes another shot deep to left. Jared Rivera. And that is out of here, over the monster, and back-to-back home runs from Rosario and Rivera. What a mammoth shot. You know, I'll tell you what's funny about all of that is Rosario had the team lead in home runs. Well, guess what? Rivera just tied him right back up. So Rosario had the team lead for about 30 seconds before Rivera teed one up. And, man, that has to be one of the longest shots in the history of the In the Net Sports Complex Field 1. What a shot there for Rivera. Back-to-back home runs for Central Penn. Let's see if Jensen can get back on it. It is now 3-0 Central Penn. Outside 2-0.
See if those two leadoff home runs here kind of throw Jensen off his game a little bit.
So outside of the 3, 4, 5 hitters, the only person with a home run is Chris Kiefer, and there's a drive. Way back, but just has enough room there to make the out. That's a long out there, but nonetheless, out number 1. Peyton Paletti coming up next. Paletti struck out in the second. 300 on the season. 7 RBI. Low and outside. And there's a shot up the middle. Nice play by Penn State Schuylkill. The easy 6-3 put out. Hughes. Beautiful play out there in the field. Brings up Michael Pico. Sack bunt, so he's 0 for 0 on the day. In the second to move Woodward to third. Outside. Pico, a sophomore. Only 3 at-bats on the season. Has pitched 9 innings and started 3 games for the Knights. Looks like he's on tap for game 2.
Now would be a certainly good time to see him get his first hit.
A big cut from Pico. Can't catch up to it. That'll be 2 strikes. And outside, and that gets by the catcher, Diaz. And that hit him. Looks like it got him right in the ribs, but hopefully he's okay because, again, he's on tap to be starting game 2, so we don't want to lose our game 2 pitcher.
Never like being hit by a pitch, but you'll certainly take the free base.
Central Penn, 7 games this week. 2 Tuesday, 2 Thursday, and 3 over the weekend. And they're going to come right back around the following Wednesday and play another one. Pico, the ball gets by Diaz. Pico is going to get to second with no throw. Be a passed ball there on Diaz. Emmett Enslin steps in, the designated hitter on the day. 263 average. And that one's outside. It looks like Jensen's just totally lost.
Jensen, yeah, he certainly looks a little erratic right now.
2 home runs, did get 2 outs, but then hit by a pitch, and really hasn't even been close to the strike zone here in this inning. Pico, a large lead off second. And that's inside. That almost hit Enslin. He's got the old school high socks. You don't see a whole lot of people doing that anymore. I was always a fan of those, though. Jensen having problems getting a sign now. 3-0 Central Penn, bottom of the fourth. Back-to-back home runs from Rosario and Rivera. And now Enslin walks. And now it's first and second for Quentin Haggard. A double. 1 for 2 on the day.
Another hit here could add to the Knights' lead.
The pitch, and Quentin fouls it back. The pitch from Jensen. Nice off-speed pitch there. Drops it in on the inside corner. It's one of the first times I've seen him be able to get that across for a strike there. He's really just been throwing fastballs. And Rosario and Rivera both ate him up on a fastball. And Q fouls it off. That's going to be 2 strikes on Haggard.
And they really do seem to be teeing off on his fastball. It makes you wonder if Jensen's having any problems, like you said, locating his off-speed pitches.
It just doesn't seem to me like Jensen's working in a change of speeds from the fastball to a changeup. And there's right back up the box. Hughes the play. Nice play by Hughes there to end the inning, but the damage has been done. 2 home runs back-to-back from Rosario and Rivera. It's 3-0. Central Penn going to the top of the 5th.
Race Against Racism. Central Penn College's Lancaster Center is a sponsor of the WYCA's 21st Race Against Racism, an annual 5K run or walk through historic Lancaster. The race is scheduled on Saturday, April 27th at 9 a.m., starting at Musser Park. Lancaster is home to the longest consecutive running Race Against Racism in the U.S. If interested in participating, please contact Lancaster Center Director Judith Dutel. Accelerated Schedule. Central Penn's year-round accelerated schedule, composed of 4 11-week terms, enables full-time students to earn a bachelor's degree in just 3 years. Fast-track your success with our accelerated terms.
Coming up here in the top of the 5th inning, it'll be Whitmer, Diaz, and Amy. Just after 3 o'clock here. And in the net in Palmyra, nice 60-degree day. A couple of showers earlier. Looks like showers are going to be in and out of the area, but Tyler, doesn't look like anything threatening in terms of having to have some type of rain delay.
Well, hopefully the rain will stay away. As you said, we had that quick passing shower, and hopefully that'll be all we see the rest of the day.
Though I will warn you, I'm not a professor of meteorology. And I simply go by what AccuWeather says, although it's probably not in my best interest. All right, Fulp, what a day he's had so far. 4 strikeouts, only 2 hits thus far as we move to the 5th. And there's a shot to left. Graham picks it up off of 1 hop. Whitmer reaches base on a very strong single, and they have their leadoff man on. Brings up Ricardo Diaz. No hits on the season and had a sac bunt earlier. No hits but an RBI. So I'm guessing either some type of sacrifice fly or hit by pitch with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
Which that happened. Didn't that happen twice? And there's a bunt.
Yeah.
Woodward, he slid into first there again.
Yeah. That time it was a head first slide.
All right, the second consecutive sacrifice bunt there for Diaz moves the runner over for Amy. 1 down in the top of the 5th. So far, Amy has really been silent, really seemingly one of the top stars for Penn State Schuylkill with his speed and average combination. 447 on base percentage. Does not lead the team, but is close. Ranks second among those with more than 10 at-bats. Pitch from Fulp. Big cut from Amy. Comes up empty.
Because we just saw in the last play there to slide into first. What do you think about the sliding head first into a base?
Well, there's actually been research done. I saw sports science on this, and it is no faster than just running through the base. Amy, the bunt, and I'm surprised that the Knights haven't moved in to try to make sure he doesn't bunt. That's the second time he's squared today, and clearly with his speed, he certainly can bunt for a base hit. 2 strikes now on Amy.
Be interesting to see with 2 strikes if they leave the bunt on.
He calls time a second consecutive time. Fulp sets. Fires, and he whiffs him. Amy not happy about that strikeout, but he's gone 0 for 3 on the day, and that's 2 down. Blaine Moyer steps to the plate. Moyer, 2 walks. Moyer actually leads the team in walks and now leads the team in walks by 4. So very selective. Nice movement on that pitch, but outside for Fulp.
Always good to keep the speed of Amy off the base path.
Yes, and I'll tell you, I won't be here in the second game, but I hope that you bring up how important it is to keep him off the base paths as one of our keys to victory here. There's a shot back up the middle. Heckard fields it. Nice play.
Nice pick out there at first.
Rivera bobbles that ball, and unfortunately, Moyer considered safe.
Tough play there. I thought they had him.
He like snow coned it, and when he went to squeeze it, it popped out. So hopefully that error does not come back to haunt Central Penn, but now first and third for Leininger and Leininger. 31 RBI on the season, 365 average. Boy, would we have liked to have gotten out of that. Important first strike there from Fulp. 3-0. Central Penn Knights lead, top 5, 2 down, first and third. Ooh. And that's inside. Leininger's going to go to second on the play.
So now a base hit, we could score 2 runs.
Excuse me, Moyer goes to second on the pass ball. Second and third now. Might you intentionally walk this guy? Hughes up on deck has struck out twice. Quentin Heckard is the king of getting himself out of bases loaded jams. Maybe Christian can follow him up. Beautiful pitch, and that's going to center. Off the wall. 2 runs will score, and Leininger adds to his RBI totals, and that 2 unearned runs there for Fulp.
Yeah, the air there at first base is playing big now, because that allowed Penn State to score the second run.
It's now 3-2. That brings up Dalton Hughes with 3 home runs, 22 RBIs of his own. Nice pitch there. Beautiful off-speed pitch. And a deep shot to right. Pico closes it. And we are out of the inning. 2 unearned runs for Christian Fulp, so he still has none earned, but Central Penn Schuylkill gets on the, Penn State Schuylkill gets on the board, and it's 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Petapalooza 2019. Petapalooza, the annual pet adoption festival, will once again be held at Central Penn's Summerdale campus. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 18th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. to experience the Petapalooza 2019. The pet-friendly event features rescue animals, plenty of vendors, kids' activities, and food trucks. It's always a good time. Free Housing Initiative. For the 2019-2020 academic year, Central Penn College is offering free housing to new students, both freshmen and transfer students who attend full-time and choose to live on campus. For more information, go to centralpenn.edu/freehousing.
All right, that takes us to the bottom of the 5th inning. Arellano, Graham, and Rosario. I know Connor Graham is looking to have a big impact today, so we're looking forward to seeing his at-bat. Gabe Arellano singled and drove in a run, the first run for Central Penn. Flew out to right last time on a deep shot. Jensen the pitch. Fouled on the third base line. That's going to be trouble down the third baseline, and that falls. Arellano on his horse for second. No one's there. Ball gets away. Arellano to third.
Holds him at third.
Holds him at third. So that's going to go as a single and a 2-base error. I suppose there's a shot he could have got in at second base.
That's a key there, getting your leadoff runner to the third base.
That's 3 out of 5 innings we've got the leadoff batter on. Well, I suppose Rosario was the leadoff batter last inning, so 4 out of 5. Connor Graham comes up to the plate, 0 for 2, struck out in the third, grounded out in the first.
So now with Penn State Schuylkill getting 2 runs here in the top of the inning, that's a big runner standing there at third base for the Knights.
And Graham goes on that one. Couldn't hold up. Jensen the pitch. That's outside. Graham's the total package. He's got power. He's got speed. He can hit to all fields. Excellent eye. In terms of walking, 2 triples on the season. That's way outside. And I'll tell you, you do not want to walk Connor Graham to bring up Chris Rosario. This is like walking Bryce Harper to get to Reese Hoskins. Nice shot. Play at the plate here. And Arellano's in there. What a slide by Gabe Arellano. And a sacrifice fly from Connor Graham.
So that adds another RBI to Graham's team-leading RBIs.
The throw was off the mark there. That brings up Chris Rosario. Now with the score 4-2 Central Penn. And Chris Rosario hit it to the opposite field for a good 375-foot home run in the 4th. And there's another shot, but that's going to be out of play. And there's off a curveball. That's going to be a tough play for the third baseman. And he digs it. Lehman's made some really nice plays down there at third base. He'll lead off the top of the sixth for Penn State.
Rivera had the moonshot over the left field wall there last at bat.
I'm pretty sure there's probably an imprint in the parking lot beyond the fence out there. Honestly, though, you gotta think if you're parking beyond there, you should be okay with the height of the wall. Not when Jared Rivera's hitting. High. He wanted to take that one for a ride right there too.
That was pretty cool to see, though, that home run shot. I know we were talking about that before the game, if anybody would be able to hit the ball out that way.
Well, again, it is only for, those wondering, the dimensions here are 285 in left, 370 in center. And there's a shot to the gap. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Rivera's going to dig for two. He's going to be in there standing up.
Good day at the plate for Rivera. Home run and now a double. Got a bit of rain here picking up again.
It does look like it's going to sort of be like this all afternoon, but it doesn't look like it's going to be any severe thunderstorms or anything like that. All right, Cam Woodward with Rivera on second base. Woodward, 216 on the season, does have 6 RBI. Walked and flew out to left in the fourth. Fouls it off, coming right back at us. Jensen winds up, and the pitch, and Cam swings at one out of the zone there. 2 down here, runner on second. Arellano already in after some amazing base running there. On a 2-base error, Cam just fouls it off to stay alive. Arellano scored on the sac fly from Connor Graham. The pitch. And there's a deep shot down left field. Is it going to stay fair? And that's just out of play. That had the distance to get out of here. That would have been Cam's first home run on the season. Trying to locate that ball out there. And Cam swings at one, tailing outside of the zone. And that will end the inning, but not after another run scored by Gabe Arellano. And guess what? It's now 4-2.
The fifth student created play. Lost and Found. The fifth student created play will be shown on June 6th, 7th, and 8th at the Capitol Blue Cross Theater. Using their experiences and imaginations to create an original play, a group of students will work together to explore losing and finding things of great importance, including relationships, people, places, and themselves. So again, we talked about this a little bit earlier. The Nightly News Media Club will be selling Mariana hoagies for a fundraiser. The hoagies are $7 and the pizzas are $8. All proceeds will help support the Nightly News Media Club. If you are interested, please contact Paul Miller at paulmiller@centralpenn.edu.
Nothing wrong with a little self-promotion here for the Nightly News.
So have you sold many hoagies so
Yes,
far?
yes. I think that we are going to do well. This is always one of our best fundraisers. You know, if we can sell 40 or 50, like I said, if each person can sell 5 to 10 subs, we're gonna, make over $100, and that's awesome for us. A good fundraiser's around $100. All right, Lehman, Steven, and Fouquet coming up here in the top of the 6th. It's 4-2, Central Penn. 2 more innings in the 7-inning contest, part 1 of a doubleheader here against Penn State Schuylkill. And a nice pitch right down the middle.
I'd say Christians look pretty strong here so far today.
5 strikeouts through 5, 2 unearned runs there based on the Rivera error. And there's a shot to Heckard. He does knock it down, but that took a strange bounce off the turf. And the leadoff runner is on base with a single. Steven up next. Struck out in the 2nd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Substitution there. Fouquet comes out. Excuse me, Lehman comes out. Coppinger comes in. Coppinger, no steals on the season, so I'm not sure that he brought him in to steal a base.
Looked like they were putting the bunt on again there.
It looks like Penn State Schuylkill likes playing small ball, and thus far it's been successful for them. Quickly, Fulp in the hole, 2-0. D-Rag, 2-1. Fulp the pitch. And the runner's going to move to 2nd with a passed ball.
Interesting to see now with the runner in scoring position if they still leave the bunt on. Kind of makes you wonder, being down 2 runs, what the game plan is there. You'd think they'd be swinging away, trying to chip away at that lead.
Popped him out of play, it looks like. Cam's not going to be able to get there. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. The runner on 2nd. Steven at the bat. And there's a shot to the hole. Rosario, what a play. And the dig from Rivera. Great play there by Rosario. But Lehman moves to 3rd. And only 1 down.
Rosario could have just saved the run there.
Oh, he absolutely saved a runner. That ball gets by him. That runner's scoring. Fulp calling for another ball. It's got to be a little slick out there with this rain off and on. Outside. Quickly in the hole, 2-0 again. Fouquet 0 for 2, struck out in the 2nd, grounded out back to the pitcher in the 4th. He gave him the inside call there. 2-1.
Seemed to be giving the inside call a lot there today.
Outside, and that's going to be 3-1 here for Fulp. I mean, at this point, you'd almost exchange the run for the out. if that's a possibility. Especially coming up to the bottom of the order. You've got a couple of guys who have not really had much in the way of offense this season, and there is a deep shot to center. And it falls, but one run is going to score. And Paquette with the double. And the RBI. Still only one down now, man. It's second for 3.
See if Christian's pitched a pretty good game so far. Let's see if he can get himself out of a jam here.
It's his first earned run of the day. Whitmer up to the plate. Alex Whitmer. That'll be foul. Nice pitch by Fulp, and that one looks like that's going to be out of play as well. Quickly 2 strikes for Fulp. It's clear, I mean, this could be said for most people, but if Fulp gets ahead of people, he puts them away. If he, gives them a couple balls up front, he really struggles to close them out. Nice pitch! Struck him out on the curveball.
That was the key David Robertson gave him. Throw strike 1, like you said, could easily put him away.
Nick Kreiser's going to come in the ball game now. Interesting way that they bring their teammate up to bat. 2 down, 1 in, 4-3, Central Penn. Fastball. Kreiser can't catch up to it. Kreiser 383 on the season. Must just sort of be getting the day off here, sort of the game off. Probably going to catch game 2. What a pitch.
383, you think that's certainly somebody you'd want having in the lineup.
I'm pretty sure that it appears that him and Diaz rotate at catcher, and this is a huge play, huge at bat here, so they probably wanted to sub. Struck him out with the hook, and 2 strikeouts get Christian Fulp out of this inning, only allowing 1 run, and it's 4-3 Central Penn as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
For the 5th straight year, Central Penn College has earned the military-friendly school designation. Currently, Central Penn has 69 students who are either veterans or who are active in the military or National Guard. The Student Veterans of America Club is accepting new members. Students must be veterans or active military to join. For more information about the club, contact Student Success Coach and Club Advisor Dan Garisi at 717-728-2367.
Paletti, Pico, and Enslin coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-inning ball game here. First game of a doubleheader here at In the Net. If you're watching, we do take a break between ball games, and we'll be back with you at the beginning of the 2nd game. So just stay tuned here to our YouTube channel. You get a notification whenever we get started with Game 2. Often they take about a 15-minute break, and guess what, Tyler? We have to take a 15-minute break ourselves. We're not like these pansy MLB commentators who have commercials. No, we go the whole way and don't stop.
We are live the entire time.
It does appear that there will be a new catcher. Kreiser's going to stay in the ballgame and catch.
So you said you won't be here with us the 2nd game. Brian will be taking over for you. Looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to class tonight?
I mean, I would much rather call it a day after this, but yeah, sure. No, of course, I always look forward to class. I've got a great group of students this term in this particular class.
I think it's one of the more interesting classes there with the projects that we're working on.
Well, and that's what, as an institution, we're allowing more options like this. I've actually taught this class, I believe this is the third time I've taught it. It's not something that runs a lot, but we had an opportunity. We had a lot of great students and that needed some electives, and this was a perfect class for us to run this term. And Tyler, you're working on this baseball project.
Yeah, working on it with Dylan. It's been fun so far. It's not many times you can say that working on a project is fun, but I think whenever you can incorporate baseball with it, it's definitely a lot more interesting.
Well, and you see what the product is, too, that we're putting out, which is, professional. It looks good. Your articles are turning out great. The photography's good. The broadcast has been going very well, other than the 35-degree, which totally understandable.
I think our team's been doing a terrific job.
And we've gotten to see some great games. Paletti takes the strike there. Paletti, Pico, and Ensslin. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-3, Central Penn. Fulp has looked terrific. Fulp looked like he was starting to struggle a bit, but struck out 2 consecutive batters on the giant curveball to end the inning. And Paletti looks like he fouled that one off his foot.
Just a 1-run lead now. I think the Knights could really use some add-on runs here this inning.
And at absolute worst case scenario at this point, the top of the order would be up in the 7th. So Graham will absolutely get back up. And there's a shot by Paletti to left. Almost misplayed there by Fiquette.
Looked like that ball was going to carry over his head.
I think it would have hit off of the wall. That's what you call a long out. Pico up to the plate, a sacrifice bunt, hit by a pitch. So he's 0 for 0 on the afternoon thus far. Nice off-speed pitch there to Pico. And that's what I was in the middle of saying earlier. To be a successful pitcher, you have to be able to throw a fastball and you have to be able to throw a changeup. And there are 2-pitch pitchers out there, guys like Aroldis Chapman. Yep. Chapman has a slider, but rarely, if ever, throws it.
When you can throw a fastball as fast as he does, I don't think you're going to use too many off-speed pitches.
Well, right, and that's the thing. Almost all pitchers have to throw at fastball changeup, and it doesn't really look like Jensen throws much of a changeup. He's really just working with the fastball and curve.
I think Craig Kimbrell was pretty much all fastball based and would mix in a slider here and there as well.
Pico lays off. Pitch. Oh, he rings him up on a questionable call there. Nonetheless, 2 down for Central Penn. It's 4-3, bottom 6. Knights lead by 1. Christian Fulp pitched a wonderful game, only allowed 1 earned run thus far. 7 strikeouts across 6 innings for Fulp. That one's outside from Jensen. Knights 4-9 on the season. Big stretch of games here. 2 today and 3 this weekend against Stratford University. They're going to be on the road after 4 straight home games. Okay, strike there.
Umpire seems to be expanding the zone a little bit here in this inning.
This might be a naked gun situation. Foul tipped. And strike 2. Ensslin walked in the 4th. Grounded out to short in the 2nd. So he's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Big cut. And that will retire the side. With no runs, no hits, none left, we're going to go to the top of the 7th. 4-3 Central Penn. Christian Fulp can close out the game.
All right. So Closer Look Weekend is coming up this weekend on Friday, April 26th and Saturday, April 27th. All accepted students and their families are invited to attend. During this weekend, the students will have the opportunity to take your placement exams, talk to a financial aid counselor, and make lasting new friendships, and even tour our super suites. Registration is required at centralpenn.edu, so register today. Also, Spring OTA Day is coming up on May 8th. This event is for prospective students who are interested in becoming occupational therapy assistants. Stay tuned for additional information. Also, did you know that Central Penn College, unlike some other institutions, do not charge any type of fee for applying? It's absolutely free. Go to our website at centralpenn.edu to apply.
Well, as we mentioned, Central Penn, if they go to the bottom of the 7th, is going to start with their leadoff hitter. So is Penn State Schuylkill. Amy, Moyer, and Leininger. And while Amy has not had a very good day thus far, and we've kept him off the base paths, if he gets on, boy, it could be trouble. Key batter here for Fulp.
The Knights were able to keep him off base all game.
And the only inning, in fact, both innings where a leadoff man, Woodward, needs a heck of a throw here. Nice throw, nice dig, and that was exactly what the Knights needed there as Amy thrown out. Him and his 24 steals, 0 for 4 on the day, Tyler. Mark my words, that'll be the key to victory in Game 2, keeping him off the base paths.
And Amy's speed made a pretty much routine play look very close over there first base.
Great throw by Woodward. All right, Penn State Schuylkill down to their final 2 outs here. Looks like Fulp has actually picked up a couple miles per hour on his fastball there. Guess he figures this is it. Let's shut him down. Big strike there for Fulp. That's strike number 2.
I think this would be a great confidence boost if Christian could finish this game
Oh,
off.
without a doubt. Just talking to him and the injuries he's gone through and fought through this year, he's got such good control.
He's been around the plate most of the day. Did pitch himself into a little bit of trouble, but was able to get himself out and keep the lead for the Knights.
And again, only 1 earned run. High and outside. That runs the count full. This is as big of an out as there is here. Moyer, 295 on the season, 3 RBI. Fouls it right back. Leininger and Hughes up next. If we get that far. Leininger, 31 RBI. Hughes, 3 home runs, 22 RBI. Fulp, the delivery. Moyer fouls it off. And it's still full. Pleasure to be here with you, Tyler, in my last game of the season. I'm really glad that you've stepped up and been such a big part of the Knights' success here. And that's lined foul.
I tell you what, this has been a lot of fun this year. I know when you approached me about helping call some of the games, I knew right away it was something I was interested in and was certainly looking forward to it. And
I'll tell you what, if you could pay me to do this every day of my life,
Yes.
I would be a happy person. It's just such a wonderful experience. I've treasured my time at Slippery Rock my whole life, the opportunities I've had. And Moyer Gets away from Fulp there. 1 out, 4-3, top 7.
And I will add on another point there, that I think working with the great team that we have here makes the experience a lot better.
Definitely get a lot of access than we would to, major league players, that's for sure. A tough 2-batter stretch here for Fulp. Let's hope the defense is ready behind him, although all the way around the diamond they've made some nice plays today. Stroke to left. Graham picks it up on one bounce and holds the runner. That's a huge play that Graham got to that ball.
Good job to get that ball back in real quick to hold the runner at second.
Which brings up Dalton Hughes, the senior. 3 home runs, 22 RBI, and 278 on the season. Huge hitter here for Christian Fulp. Knights cling to a 1-run lead. Top 7, 2 on, 1 out. Double play ball in order, fortunately. Heckard shaded back a little bit. Big cut there from Hughes, comes up empty. Hughes has struck out twice on the day and is 0 for 3.
Ground ball double play here would be huge to end the game.
And quickly 2 strikes on Hughes. And really, Tyler, if he can get by him here, I think that the next batter is either going to be a pinch hitter or is going to be somebody who only has 4 hits on the season. Reaches there. Nice pitch by Fulp with the 0-2 count.
Nice.
Big swing,
Nice.
And he's going to third.
They call him safe.
Safe down at third.
Interesting decision to throw to third there. You thought maybe they had the sure out at first.
They called him out, but the runners did advance.
Okay.
On the passed ball there from Paletti.
So I believe is that 2 outs now?
2 down. Lehman re-enters after the pinch runner last inning.
So Christian 1 big out away here from going the complete game.
So an intentional walk there to Lehman brings up Steven, who struck out and reached on 2 fielders' choice. This is as tense as it possibly can get, guys. Top 7, bases loaded for Fulp. What a pitch to start him off, but doesn't call a strike there. Just outside there for Fulp.
That was a close pitch.
Fulp's been getting that call today.
Yeah. Tough time right now to not give him the call.
Calls that one a strike. And Fulp runs the count to 1-1 on Steven. Inside there runs the count to 2-1. Bases loaded, top 7. This is the final inning in a doubleheader rules situation in college. So this is just like the 9th. And he hits him, and he walks in the run to tie up the ball game. And that will be tied at 4.
Base is still loaded here.
Still loaded for Fouquet. 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. 4-4 now in the top of the 7th. Outside for a ball. Fulp delivers. Calls the strike on the inside corner. Strike 2. And boy, if Fulp could get out of this inning with only 1 run and the top of the order coming up for the Knights, this would be a gift.
It'd be huge. It would give the Knights a chance to walk it off next inning.
Popped out. Rosario looks like he's got it. He's calling for it, and he squeezes. The damage was done due to a hit by pitch by Christian Fulp, but on the bright side, we're tied. We're going to the bottom of the 7th, and the top of the order coming up. Heckard, Arellano, and Graham. It's 4-4 going to the bottom of the 7th.
All right. Word Wednesdays. Don't forget that the Office of Student Life and Office of Equity and Multicultural Affairs offers a weekly opportunity for students to have open dialogue about the hot topics of the day. Word Wednesday is held weekly in the Cultural Diversity Center from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Snacks will be provided for all participants. All are welcome.
All right, well, the Knights went down 1-2-3 last inning as Paletti, Pico, and Enslin couldn't make anything happen, but we lead off here with Quentin Heckard, Gabe Arellano, and Connor Graham. If those gentlemen reach base, it'll be Chris Rosario and Jared Rivera. Back-to-back home runs in the 4th for those two. But really the key here has been, can we get off our leadoff man on?
Well, the Knights have done a pretty good job of getting the leadoff hitters on base, so I think that would definitely be a good start if they could do that again this inning.
Four out of 6 innings the leadoff man has been on, and no better time than with Quentin Heckard right here. 1 for 3 on the day, with a double in the 1st and scored. Grounded out to 3rd, popped out to the shortstop in innings 3 and 4. And honestly, you have to give credit where credit's due to Jensen. Jensen's hung in there after back-to-back home runs and was able to basically over the next couple of innings after that relatively cruise after those 2 home runs. And we're going to see his ERA come down considerably from the 11 that it already was.
Yeah, you think after those 2 home runs it might have rocked him a little bit, but Jensen's seemed to settle in. Got the right guys at the plate here for the Knights. So
Heckard, Arellano, Graham. I know Graham wants to do something here, something special. I'm not sure if this guy knows what he's got himself in for. Heckard takes the first pitch strike there. Outside, that'll be 1-1 count. Low for 2-1. And trust me, with Heckard's speed, I'm sure he would gladly take a walk here. Fouled straight back. Looked like he swung at a pitch that might have been a little bit outside of the strike zone. But then again, with the way the umpire's been calling things, it's really hard to say.
Yeah, it looked like he just got that one off the end of the bat.
That'll run the count full.
But yeah, to your point, with the umpire being a little erratic here today with the strike zone, it kind of makes you think going up there as a hitter, you got to almost swing at anything.
Almost in the Penn State Schuylkill dugout there. Heckard stays alive. Four, bottom 7. Should the Knights go down silently here, we'll go to extras. And same thing. Heckard almost hit the ball in his Penn State Schuylkill dugout there. Hopefully they're looking alive. Heckard full. And we'll take the walk to start off. And again, to our point, leadoff runner on. This could be big for Central Penn.
With Quentin's speed, he could easily turn that walk into a double.
Arellano, 2 for 3 on the day. 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Flew a deep shot to right in the 3rd. Heckard on the move, and he's in there. He pushed his hand off the base, and he calls him safe. Very, very close play there. Heckard nearly passed the bag, but it looked like the second baseman, if he did come off, pushed him off, and I'm pretty sure that's not legal.
Yeah, and you could see Penn State there was arguing that he was off the bag, but
when you push someone off, though, that's not legal.
Good call by the umpire there to spot that play.
Big steal there. Now running on scoring position for Arellano.
Now, you think they could potentially leave the bunt on here to maybe get the winning run over there to third base?
For Connor Graham and a sac fly. Might not be the most... might be a little anticlimactic, but we'll take it. And a shot to deep center for Arellano. The ball does not, and it's down, and Heckard to third, Arellano to second. Heckard had to stop and make sure that ball wasn't caught, but now second and third for Connor Graham. Thus far, the team MVP, and boy, wouldn't this be a great way to end with a walk-off base hit here from Connor Graham.
This is the exact guy you want at the plate right now in this situation.
Schuylkill calls time. Looks like there might be a pitching change here. Jensen so close to going the distance. Six 2/3 for Jensen. Graham, Rosario, and Rivera, and still no one out.
Kind of makes you wonder if they'll pitch to Graham here. Load up.
It just goes back to what we were saying earlier. I mean, you're going to have to pitch to somebody.
Yep.
I mean, I suppose you could walk Graham, but then you're just dealing with Rosario and Rivera. When really all either of them needs a sac fly.
Kind of a pick your poison situation. Knights in a very good position here to try to get this win.
Looks like Steele Faquette will be in. He has pitched in 6 games this season, started 2. He's 1-1. 24 innings pitched and 15 runs allowed for a 5.14 ERA. Only allowed 7 earned, 15 unearned. So this is a spot for Connor Graham. This is what you dream at night about here, Tyler.
As a player, these are the situations that you want to be in. Base hit, sac fly. Many different possibilities here to help win the game for your team.
So here's the situation. We're in the bottom of the 7th in the final inning of the first game of the doubleheader here at In the Net in Palmyra. Nice 60-degree day. Some showers on and off. It's been a very exciting game. Christian Fulp in line for the victory here. If we can push one run across, there are 2 on and nobody out for Connor Graham, Chris Rosario, and Jared Rivera, our 3 offensive leaders. And this is not an easy spot for Steele Fouquet to come into here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Graham steps in, 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. We would take that right here. Strike 1 from Fouquet. That's one thing about Graham today. He's gotten in the hole early in counts.
Well, one of the good things here is with the speed of Heckert at third base.
Pretty much anything to the outfield should be the game. And they're playing in on the corners, too. Quickly, 2 strikes on Graham. And the big strikeout from Fouquet on Graham. Struggles continue for Connor Graham. 0 for 4 today.
Well, let's see if Rosario here can walk it off for the Knights.
Rosario 1 for 3 with the big home run. Fouquet calls for his catcher. Breaking the action here. Well, Brian Christiana and Tyler Coleman will join you this afternoon for Game 2 here against Penn State Schuylkill. Boy, wouldn't it be great to walk off here and have some momentum going into Game 2, Tyler?
I think that would be huge right now.
Check swing, and Pecker's coming to the plate. And he is out at the plate.
I have to admit, that was a good play coming home to just get the speedy Heckert there.
I think he was just moving on any contact there, and unfortunately Heckert gunned down, and Rivera.
But on the play, the Knights do get a runner here
So
to third.
Rivera intentionally walked, which brings up Cam Woodward. Bases loaded, bottom 7, 2 down for Cam. Outside, ball 1 from Fouquet.
So the Knights still in a position where they could win this game. It's going to be a little bit more difficult now with 2 outs.
Outside, ball 2. Gotta pause before I say what it is to see what the umpire said. Arellano's a speedster on third. That's really all that matters. And that one's 2-1. Just catches the outside corner there. Outside, 3-1. We're 1 ball away from the walk-off walk. 3-1. The all-important run at third with Gabe Arellano. and that's back up the box, and that's going to do it. Cam Woodward walks off in the bottom of the 7th inning as Central Penn wins the game 5-4. What a clutch hit from Cam Woodward. Wow, what a way to finish.
That was awesome. Good job for Cam Woodward there to walk it off. And as you just stated a couple minutes ago, give the Knights team a big confidence boost going into the game 2 of the doubleheader.
Wow. So we gotta circle back to the Nightly News Player of the Game here. Do we give it to Cam walking off in the bottom of the 7th? Do we give it to Cam?
I would say that you have to.
All right, well, we're going to give it to Cam Woodward. He walked, and he was 1 for 3 on the day, but that one, holy cow, was that one of the biggest hits of his career?
Oh, no doubt probably is. Good for him, and especially having the season that he's had. That's awesome to see him walk off.
Well, I got to tell you, we are going to be getting out of here for Game 1. We are going to be right back in just a moment for Game 2. We're going to start off with just our Central Penn Knights logo screen up, and the Game 2 should start here in about 15 minutes. So keep it here on YouTube. Before I get out of here, Tyler, again, this was my last game for the season. Brian, Christiana, and Tyler will be back for Game number 2. It's been my pleasure, Central Penn Knights men's baseball fans, to be your play-by-play commentator on the season, and I really look forward to seeing you again soon for some other sports. But today, from In the Net here in Palmyra, Central Penn wins Game 1 of the doubleheader 5-4 with the walk-off from Cam Woodward, our Nightly News Player of the Game. So we'll see you here in about 15 minutes, everybody. For Paul Miller, for Tyler Coleman, we'll see you at Game 2.